In this video I would like to show you my nature journal, and it is inside this Arteza sketchpad. A year ago I think I received this sketchpad from Arteza, and I wanted to use it, but not just for sketching. I wanted to turn it into a nature journal, and last autumn I started with this nature journal, and I started a little bit with a mistake. These are leaves, dried leaves, and in the first stadium of this nature journal I used glue to glue them on the paper, but then this happens, so I turned to tape it down, and now the problem is gone. But this first page, this is just a first page here. This is the same leaf. I used luminance and polychromos pencils to color this one, and here a chestnut, and also luminance and polychromos pencils. And well, let's see what's in here. One of the birds that you see very often in, well, all year through actually, is this one, a blue tit. Lovely little bird with beautiful colors. And this drawing I made with mixed media. It's partly watercolor and partly it is colored pencil. So I changed the position of the nature journal a little bit, so you can better see it, I guess. And this is a leaf from a beach, and this one caused the problems on the previous page. I made a little watercolor painting of some berries, and here this is the actual leaf, and this is the drawing that I made of it. Most things that I like to draw I cannot glue down in this nature journal, for example Acorns. So I had a couple of acorns and I just kept a few to make a sketch of it. Let's change the position a little bit. Here you can see better. So I used 2 acorns, and they were actually stuck to each other with this little twig in the middle. And here down the page there is another drawing, watercolor. And I use Daniel Smith watercolor paint. I have a color chart from Daniel Smith, and with all these little dots, it's a dot card. And my husband took it from the United States and gave it to me. But these tiny little dots, I was wondering, can I do anything else than just make a swatch card? And luckily you can. So I made this from the dot card, and I found some beautiful colors, so that is why I keep track of the colors that I use. And for example, the Green Appetite Genuine and the Moon Glow, they are both absolutely gorgeous. So let's go to the next page. So these are all, let's zoom out. Change the position. These are the real leaves, and on the other page also 2 here, real leaves, and this one is a colored one. I drew it first a sketch, then with some ink, and then with Prismacolor Premier. It turns out that Prismacolor Premier works best on this Arteza paper. It's quite smooth, and my other pencils are having a little bit of trouble getting, having grip. The luminance is doing quite well also, but I found that Prismacolor Premier is the best choice for this paper. So, well, and here I have a lovely painting. You may recognize this painting because I made a second one for my review of watercolor pencils, Bruinzeel Rijksmuseum watercolor pencils. And I decided to use the sketch also for this journal, again with Daniel Smith paints. And I found these berries, these holly with the berries, while being on a walk here close to our home. There's a grand estate, a grand house, and you can walk in the gardens there. So we went there, and there was this bush of holly and the berries, and I took a picture. So this is actually based on a picture. Now let's go to the next page. This is a copy of the real leaf. And again, I found a beautiful color in the Daniel Smith paints, quinacridone gold, beautiful. And well, I'm quite pleased with this little painting. And again, I used the dot card to paint this, and I'm very happy with that dot card, because you have all the colors in the range of Daniel Smith and you can try them all. Beautiful. Here we have a couple more acorns, and again with Daniel Smith paint. I think I will use the Daniel Smith paint for this nature journal as long as I have enough of it, but it looks like this autumn we will go to the United States, and maybe I will be able to do some shopping and shop some Daniel Smith paints. Okay, let's take a look here. This is one of the more recent drawings of ivy, and this is from ivy that is growing in our garden. And I used Prismacolor Premier pencils mainly, and a couple of polychromos and luminance. So that was very joyful to make that these two little drawings. And a while ago I had my very first sighting of a red-winged bird, and it is a bird that isn't here in the Netherlands in summertime, but it comes from the north, and then it stays here in wintertime because it is less cold here. And for the first time I saw two of these beautiful birds sitting in a bush across the street. So just right in front of our house. So I took a couple of pictures, and I was able to make this little sketch of one of them. Again, Daniel Smith paints. And yesterday, no, that's not true, 2 days ago, I went out for a walk, and I found a twig with these lovely berries. So I decided to take it home and do some coloring. And again, this is Prismacolor Premiere. So I am very much enjoying my nature journal. And there's another sketch that I made. That's the one I made yesterday. Oh, look at that, little surprise. Another painting of a couple of weeks ago. Again, Daniel Smith paint. But here I have a sketch prepared, and I would like to do a little bit of coloring right now. Here you can see a twig that I found a couple of days ago, and I thought that would be a very nice subject for a very detailed drawing. As you can see, it's some sort of moss, I guess, and I took it back home and I had it inside in the house, so this is all very dried out right now, but the colors are still like when I found it. So let's see if I can do some coloring. So first I have to decide which colors I'm going to use, and I'm starting out with the green tones here, and I have a green tone here by Prismacolor, but it's a little bit too green. I need a little bit more gray tone. I think I got one here. Celadon green. So I think this celadon green comes very close to the bluish, grayish, greenish tones that are here in the back. And when you draw on gray paper, you already have the mid-tones, and that is something very interesting. As you can see, this grayish green doesn't show very well here on the gray paper, but that's okay. I can fix that later. I'm just adding this color to give a first idea, to have a first glance of how it's going to look. Just a touch of it. How about, no, this is too green. Let's go for another one. How about this one? I think this one is too dark, but this is a bronze tone. Let's give it a try. No, this is too dark. I need a lighter tone. I think I need to build that tone. So I'm starting out with this one, yellow ochre. I don't think I will be able to finish this drawing completely while recording, but this is just to show you how I enjoy my nature journal, and it's like this, just looking very closely to the subject if I have it. If I don't have it, I use a picture, a photo. Here is a color called Chartreuse. But it's just very, I've always loved watching, looking at nature, finding these little gems like this twig, looking at it closely and enjoying the beauty of it. But I never knew what to do with it. And now with this nature journal, it's actually a lot of fun. Here I have another one, 90% French grey, gris français, and I'm going to use that to add a little bit of color to the wood. And when you draw on grey paper, normally when I draw on white paper I go from light to mid-tone to dark, and now you go from mid-tone to dark to light. So first I add some darker tones, most of the time. That's not entirely true, because here I added some lighter tones. But it's really interesting, the coloring process changes a little bit, so it teaches me a lot. Here I have a light umber, and let's see if I can find an even lighter tone. Maybe this one, but this is a yellow one, gamboge. I don't think this will do the job. No. I need white. Where is my white? Here is my white. And this is my luminance white. Oh no, this is raw umber 10%. Well, that's maybe even better. Not completely white, but just to create some sort of a highlight here. Look at that, that's nice. That's really nice. Well, here I have that grey again. Let's add some color here. And over here I can see that the wood is very dark here. And let's go for another color. I always use multiple colors, dark brown here, this is it. Multiple colors to add depth to the subject, so I never use only one brown. But in this case, more than one brown will, and there will be gray, and there will be black, and there will be maybe a touch of blue. But first I will go for a luminance pencil. Castle Earth. The darkest brown in the luminance set. That goes very well. Let's add a touch of that here as well. So. Now let's go for the tone that belongs to these tiny orange things. It's like little cups, and I think this color, orange ochre, may come close. So let's give it a try. Now here I have a moss green to add some darkness here and there. The moss on the twig is very complicated. There are a lot of shapes and turns and twists, and well, it's impossible to draw all the turns and twists and the shading, and it's quite complicated. So I'm looking for a way to just give the impression of moss without drawing everything, because that's just impossible, at least for me. I know there are botanical artists who can do beautiful things with a twig like this. They paint it like it can jump off your page and be very real. Well, my skills are not that good. So this is how I enjoy a twig. Yeah, actually that's it. I just love it. So I will continue the drawing, and then I will show you I will show you the end result in this video, and then well, I can highly recommend it. Try it yourself, and I'll be back when there are a couple more pages filled, maybe somewhere in summertime. Then I have a spring. You know, in winter and in autumn the garden is quite quiet, but I hope spring will come soon, and then we have snowdrops and daffodils, crocuses, and I can't wait to have some insects in the garden. It would be great to color a bumblebee or something like that. I like those animals, so I'm definitely going to do that. So, well, I hope you enjoyed this, and well, let's do a tiny last bit of coloring here, and then I hope you enjoyed it, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.